Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Have you ever wondered if a faster disc is going to make you throw further? Well, I've got the fastest possible discs that are actually legal. These are both 14.5 speed discs. We don't even have a 15 speed disc because those aren't considered legal in the PDGA. We got the Teleport, we got the Relativity. I'm going to throw them and we're going to see if there is something to the 14.5 speed discs or if it's just a myth. Let's go try it out. Let's go. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I've got two of the fastest discs that you can get your hands on. We got the Teleport from MVP. Numbers on this are 14.5, 5, -1.5, +2.5. Man, that's a lot of halves in there. We're gonna see how this thing flies, and we're gonna put it up against another 14.5 speed disc, the Relativity. Numbers on this are 14.5, 5.5, -3, +1.5. Man, that's a mouthful for both of these. Well, it looks like Teleport's going to be a little bit more on the overstable side, and we're going to see if the Relativity is going to be a little bit flippy, or are they just going to be both beefcakes? Let's test it out. All right, Teleport is 172 grams. All right. That actually went a lot straighter than I thought. I didn't get a lot of air on it. I was mainly concentrating on getting it nice and flat just to see what the stability's like, but that actually flew pretty darn straight. Relativity is 174 grams. All right, did get some turn out of it, but wow, definitely a 14.5 speed disc. A lot of stability at the end, a lot of roll, a lot of flare skip. All right, I don't know if these are gonna go as far as some of my furthest throwing discs, but they are pretty fun. Okay, what makes a disc fast? Basically, it's how long the rim is. So both of these at 14.5 speed, that means they're both very long. So you gotta have kind of big hands to get your hands around it. I gotta say, 14.5 speed discs, most part, they feel a little bit too big in my hand. Not that I can't handle it, but it doesn't superly feel comfortable. Superly a word? All right, well, I gotta say, both of these kind of went a little straighter than I thought. I thought I'd get a little more turn out of the Relativity, and I thought I'd get less turn out of the Teleport, which means they both kind of went dead straight for me. So let's try this again. This time, I think I'm gonna put a little anhyzer on this Teleport, try to get a full flex out of it. So let's go. Oh, that was no anhyzer at all. Holy cow. Something about having a 14.5 speed disc makes you want to just throw the snot out of it, and you should never throw a disc like that. Slow and smooth is way better. All right, let's try Relativity, slow and smooth. Let's lay this one flat, maybe a little anhyzer. There we go. Can definitely handle some anhyzer, fighting back. Yeah, not too bad. I'd just say, you know, if you don't have a super fast arm speed, probably really shouldn't be throwing 14.5 speed discs, but it is kind of fun to test them out. In fact, I got some discs that maybe you should try out. All right, here we go. We got 11 speed and a 13 speed. These definitely feel way better in my hand, and these are in Fission plastic. So we got a Fission Octane and a Fission Photon. So we're gonna try these ones out. Let's go with the Photon first. Fission Photon is 11, 5, -1.5, +2.5. Now this one is pretty beat in. Fission plastic, like I said, it actually feels more like neutron plastic than it does Fission plastic. So I think this is an old guy. Oh my goodness. Holy cow. That sucker's going in my bag. Yeah, that thing is beautiful. I need more of those. All right, I've done a review on this one. Fission Octane, this thing's beautiful. 13 speed. I believe it's 13.5, -1.3, -1.2. Can't quite remember, but this one flies great also. Look at that. 5 feet off the ground. Cruised. Wow. Yeah, guys, that's actually sitting right on top of the other disc. I'm telling you, big believer in Fission plastic drivers from MVP. Unless you got like Simon speed in your arm, us mere mortals like 60 mile an hour and less arm speeds, These are going to be fantastic for you. All right, don't worry, I'm not going to forget. We're going to do the Relativity and the Teleport on a sidearm. These actually felt pretty good holding it in my hand on a sidearm, actually way better than it does on a backhand. So let's see how these things fly. Maybe that's the key. Maybe these are more sidearm discs for me. All right, let's do one more set of tosses here. Sidearm, let's go Relativity first. This is the -3, +1.5 one. Gotta say, this thicker rim, it's gonna be a lot harder for me to lay it totally flat, but I'm gonna do the best I can here. Yep, hard to get that totally flat, but wow, flies really good. Good thing about really fast discs like this is they do a really good job at flare skips, because that nice wide rim really gets some good sweeping flare skips. All right, now the Teleport. Yeah, say flies almost exactly like the Relativity. Yeah, not too bad. So 14.5 speed discs make you throw further? Nope, not at all, but they are kind of fun to throw. If you want to throw far, you need to find a disc that's probably more like a 10, 11, maybe 12 at the most speed disc that you can get to go dead straight. In fact, let's do a couple sidearms with the Octane and the Photon. All right, let's do the Photon first. Let's go. Wow, that's got really good stability. Looking great. All right, now let's do a little Fission Octane. Oh, that got some great turn out of it. Bye-bye. Yeah, that one went way far. All right, guys, big believer in Fission plastic drivers from MVP. I'm gonna say that till I'm purple in the face, but if you guys are looking to get some discs, especially these Fission drivers, head on over to Disc Golf Deals USA. We got some good ones over there. All right, guys, till I see you next time. Peace out.